You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, we are going to talk about Deion Sanders, Colorado. Of course, the other night, a very big rivalry game between Colorado football and, of course, Colorado State. There was a lot of hype going into that game, not only because of Deion Sanders, but Jay Norville, the coach, threw some shade at Deion about glasses and hats, and an obvious shot at, of course, Deion Sanders' more flashy style. I got to tell you right off the bat, I like Deion a lot, but I've always liked Deion. He's arguably the greatest cornerback in the history of the NFL. And, I mean, he was primetime. I'm a Niners fan. Obviously, he helped us win the 94 Super Bowl. No doubts about that at all. Was a great Dallas Cowboy, of course. So, some things happened. Colorado pulled that game out, but Travis Hunter, that two-way player, got knocked out of the game by, I believe, linebacker Henry Blackburn in what was a very ugly hit, and that has now taken an ugly turn after the fact. Deion Sanders has come out and responded to death threats that have been levied against Henry Blackburn. And Deion made some very, very mature comments and said, guys, this is football. We can't be doing that, okay? He even called Henry Blackburn a really great player that he believes has an NFL future. All of that said, Deion's son, Shilo, he has taken a different route on this, and it is ugly because he is threatening Henry Blackburn. And look, guys, I'm really pulling for this Colorado football team. I'm not going to kid you. I mean, I'm a Michigan Wolverines fan, obviously. Wouldn't normally have a dog in the hunt. But pretty much anything that Deion Sanders coaches, I'm probably going to pull for. I do believe, even though he shot down the NFL, I've said before, I think Deion ends up eventually coaching the Dallas Cowboys. I just think it makes a lot of sense. 4 or 5 years from now, Deion Sanders' personality, Jerry Jones adores his former players and Deion. Michael Irvin, of course, him and Deion are very close, and that is Jerry Jones's favorite player of all time. We've also got the ratings for that game, and they are gargantuan considering it's Colorado State, and that had a 9 p.m. Central Time. It was what they call a late primetime game. Let's get to this because Shilo is not taking the high road at all in this, and he had some ugly things to say. Here's the hit.
It's Sean Lewis, the offensive coordinator, moment ago, downfield. Incomplete, but a flag down.
It's a dirty hit.
Intended for Hunter, who took a shot afterward.
I'm sort of surprised. I mean, it's a dirty hit, but I'm going to tell you, I saw one over the weekend, folks, that was worse than that in the NFL. I can't remember who put the hit on somebody, but I know I went, whoa, that's a nasty-looking hit. So anyway, let's get to this. Deion Sanders wants people to move past Henry Blackburn's hit on Travis Hunter, but his son Shilo doesn't seem to feel the same way. Hunter was hospitalized with a lacerated liver following a hit from CSU Rams DB. Okay, they're calling him a defensive back. Somebody said he was a linebacker yesterday. The Colorado said it makes more sense that he's a defensive back. The Colorado Star will now miss several games. Deion Sanders addressed the media, telling people the death threats against Blackburn must stop. And Hunter also came out and said stuff happens in football. Travis Hunter has been very grown up and very mature about this. Deion Sanders, we know how Deion is, guy that's close to God, going to absolutely believe in forgiveness. Shilo did not take that route, folks, at all. quote, I really want to whip that dude that did that to him. For real. Like after the game or something. If I see him just around here somewhere, he's got to watch out. He really made me mad, just seeing them try to play dirty like that. That was crazy. I thought something would happen punishment-wise, because if he does that to us, if he did that, I think it would be like way crazy, way crazier than that. They would have kicked me out for sure. So I ain't really like that, Shilo told the media on Tuesday. Yikes. Very different message from Deion. Because this is what Deion said. Henry Blackburn is a good player who played a phenomenal game. He made a tremendous hit on Travis on the sideline. You could call it dirty. You can say he was just playing the game of football. Deion Sanders is very old school. But whatever it is, it does not constitute that he should be receiving death threats. This is still a young man trying to make it in life, a guy that is trying to live his dream and hopefully graduate with honors. He does not deserve a death threat over the game. I could not agree more. And especially now that I've seen the hit multiple times. He also added, at the end of the day, this is a game. Someone must win, someone must lose. Everybody continues their life the next day. I'm saddened if any of our fans that are on the other side are making those threats. I would hope and pray not. But that kid was just playing the best of his ability, and he made a mistake. I forgive him. CSU, our entire team, forgives him. Travis has forgiven him. Let's move on. Well, I guess Shilo Sanders has not moved on at all. And it's going to be interesting. I'm going to be interested to see what Deion says about the comments that his son has made. Now, we got to understand, they're young men. They're fired up. Testosterone. I mean, alpha dogs going after each other. That's his buddy. That's his guy on the field. And I'm sure Shilo is pissed. I'm sure a lot of those CU players really are livid. But I think you got to go the route of Deion. I do. Let's get to these ratings, because this was nuts. This is Sports Media Watch. Saturday's Colorado State-Colorado college football game averaged a 4.9 rating and 9.30 million viewers for ESPN, marking the largest late-night college football audience on record and the 5th largest regular season audience ever on the ESPN family of networks. The Buffalo's double overtime win, which peaked with 11.1 million viewers from 11 to 11:15 p.m. Eastern, also delivered the largest college football audience of the season. The previous high was 9.17 million for FSU LSU on ABC. Now, see, that's what makes this really impressive. Not only was it the biggest rating of the year, ESPN is on an actual, we know you've got to have a subscription to something, whether it's Fubo or Sling or Dish or DirecTV or cable. You have to have a subscription. ABC is over-the-air free TV, antenna TV. And anytime you can beat a free network, that's impressive, and that is impressive, because you would not believe, even in this day and time, how many more antenna-only homes are out there versus people that have an actual service. In fact, there's an entire movement right now with people giving up everything and going strictly back to antenna. Because I don't know if you've hooked up an antenna lately, but you can get like 30 channels now. Colorado has now played in 3 of the 5 most watched games of the year, with their Week 2 matchup against Nebraska ranking 4th, 8.73 million, and their season opener against TCU, 5th, 7.26 million. The only ones that's beaten them, FSU, LSU, and Texas, Alabama. They beat Texas and Alabama. Think about that for a minute. That is nuts. That is crazy because it's not like, Texas is a massive program, and Bama with Tricky Nicky on the sideline, that's insane. It really is. It's impressive. And Deion made a comment the other day, and I want to make sure I always try to bring this up from now on, but the fact that he said his phone is ringing off the hook from recruits. His phone. They're not having to chase recruits. The recruits are chasing Deion Sanders in Colorado. Man, if Deion chooses to stay there, holy hell. He's going to build a powerhouse because the top talent in the country is going to play for Deion, or they're going to want to. Very impressive. Very impressive indeed. Obviously, a ton of hype. Even Tom Brady. Tom Brady had Deion on his podcast 2 days ago. Tom Brady actually called out one of the kids, too, one of Deion's kids, and Deion completely agreed. Tom Brady said you need to keep your ass more in the playbook than you need to worry about driving some fancy car. I was like, whoa, all right. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.